This is probably one of the most pointless movies I've had to talk about on the Blood Moon Bobby podcast. What's going on, guys? So, Disney, in their continuing mission to make live action remakes and retellings of their movies, they are making. You ready for this? If you haven't read the title or seen the picture or the joke in the beginning of this video, they're making a Prince Charming movie because isn't he the most interesting character, especially in the older Disney films? So the screenwriter of the Beauty and the Beast remake and author of, let me see if I got the name here, The Perks of Being a Wallflower, Stephen Chbosky, I hope I'm pronouncing that right. I watched a video to learn how to pronounce his name, is being tapped by Disney to write this new Prince Charming movie. And David Haberman, and Todd Lieberman are producing the film along with Trip Vincent. In the original script for this movie, penned by Matt Vogel, the movie looks at the story of the prince from the perspective of his brother. And this brother never lived up to the family name. And I'll give you a second to laugh at how ridiculous this sounds. Ugh. You know, it's funny how I've only seen one of the Disney live-action remakes, and it was actually a pretty good one. It was the Cinderella remake by Kenneth Branagh. By no means a perfect movie. I really liked Kenneth Branagh's retelling of Hamlet. But Cinderella was it was good, just good, not great, but yeah. But I don't really hear too many great things about these live action remakes. I haven't seen, some of the remakes include Maleficent, Alice in Wonderland, which I've seen the Nostalgia Critic of, and then there was, what was the other one? There was The Jungle Book, and so on and so forth, and just, if Disney is going to keep going down this path, I'm just like, why don't you find another property to make a movie? I'd even take a Cruella movie. You know, because even though, Cruella isn't the most complex character in the Disney world, but, you at least have possibility. When did she get into fashion? Did she learn the cruelty of turning animals into coats? I mean, it's not much possibility, but it would still make a good movie. I would probably still rant on that, but, and they are actually developing that right now. And they're also doing, I heard they're doing a Mulan remake, and one that I am looking forward to, although I'm still kind of skeptical of it, is Mary Poppins Returns. Mainly because, one, why did they need to make a sequel to to make some more money? But, hey, if it still has good songs, and even the premise doesn't sound too bad, where it's Michael Banks, one of the kids from the first Mary Poppins, he's grown up, but now he lost his wife, and he and his children are sad, and then Emily Blunt as Mary Poppins comes in. So, see, even though the Disney remakes, they're just being made for cash, and I've criticized Disney for being, this kind of overly clean and corporate organization. And as of last week, a dodger of controversy from the press and, at Disneyland, just, even though these remakes, there's possible a Prince Charming movie that isn't even really about Prince Charming himself. It just screams to me we're desperate for cash. Please watch our movie. Even though we're not even going to be focusing on this character. So it doesn't help when there's a movie with very little possibility, it doesn't help me that I have very little to say other than WTF. You know, I just don't see the point. I'm just like, Disney, are you literally so desperate and so greedy that you just want to make a movie out of any one of your Disney characters? See, even I'm just thinking right now, like if they made like a Gravity Falls movie or a Star Wars Evil movie, which I always keep dreaming about. Not saying those two are gonna happen. I don't think Disney sees much profitability from doing either. But it would have been something new if and they even turned their TV shows into movies in the past. Like there was a Recess movie, and then there was Doug's first movie, the latter of which I've heard is not very good. So I'm just like, look for other ways to make money, Disney. You don't need to do a Prince Charming movie. I mean, think about it. Like, yes, in recent years, the Prince Charming characters have been more interesting, whether it be Flynn Rider from Tangled or Kristoff, or if you want to consider him Hans from Frozen, even though, spoiler alert, he was the villain. You know, I'm not saying make a movie out of those two. I think it's way too soon to make like a Tangled live action movie, or hell, even a Frozen live action. I think it's good they're doing a Frozen Broadway show, but not a live action movie. Like Disney, don't be so desperate. But yeah, I mean, but look at like Prince Charming characters in like the past. Like I think they're going more for like the Prince Charming characters in like the Snow Whites or the Sleeping Beauties or the Cinderellas. Hell, there's even stories where the animators of the Prince Charming characters hated the job because the Prince Charmings tend to be these really bland characters, and when it comes to human characters, I've heard, especially in the early days, Disney's animation team, the 9 Old Men, didn't really want to draw Prince Charming. So, I mean, yes, they can make Prince Charming a more complex character, like maybe give him personality and so forth, but then it just feels like they're making a completely different movie. I mean, I don't know. There is a way to flesh out these characters more, like they did in the more recent Disney movies. But if they're going more for something from like one of the more classic films, then it just feels like it's become its own movie rather than an update, you know? Like there's just so little to play with when it comes to the Prince Charming characters that it's hard to imagine it as a movie. I mean, look at like the Cinderella remake. Remember the Prince Charming character in that one? Like, yes, he was a very interesting character. You know, Cinderella tells him not to hunt, but he's mainly there in order for Cinderella to fall in love with. Yes, we get a lot. He's a lot more interesting in the live action remake than in the animated one, where he just kind of yawns until Cinderella comes. But that's not enough to make him a main character. So, yeah, my opinion, Disney, he pick something else to make a movie from. I mean, you're such a company with such a beloved sort of history that I honestly don't think you guys need to make a Prince Charming movie. I mean, there's other ways to make money. So, yeah. I kind of feel I've said all I could about that. So, this has been Blood Moon Bobby. Thanks for watching or listening. And I don't know. I'm probably going to go make another video just to get my head out of this one. Hey guys, this has been a Blood Moon Bobby video. Please like this video or dislike it. And please subscribe to my channel. Thanks for watching.